It looks like Jeannie Mae is hitting a rough patch and has been begging Jeezy to cough up the cash he owes her. Yep, you heard that right. She's in a tough spot and feeling the squeeze after Jeezy is refusing to pay up on their divorce settlement. With all the drama that's gone down, Jeannie's now facing financial struggles and she's not holding back and calling out Jeezy. Stay tuned because this messy breakup just took a major turn and Jeannie's not letting him off the hook anytime soon. Jeannie Mae is seriously fuming at Jeezy right now because he's stiffing her on their divorce settlement. They finalized their split after just 2 years of marriage, and boy was it messy. Jeannie accused Jeezy of being controlling, claiming he was abusive, and made her feel unsafe with his guns around. Plus, she even suspected he was cheating on her. Jeezy, on the other hand, denied all the allegations. He said Jeannie still wanted to be with him and have a baby, but he wasn't down for that, which is why he filed for divorce. He claimed that once he left, she started throwing accusations his way and was making it hard for him to see their daughter. So fast forward to now, and Jeannie is back at it with Jeezy because he's not paying up. He was supposed to put $500,000 into an account for their daughter, cover $4,000 for her tuition and daycare, and hand over his 2021 Range Rover and 2022 Ford Bronco. But guess what? He's still holding on to all of it. Plus, he owes Jeannie $92,000 for her rent from May through August, and she's been waiting for that money. Seriously, $92,000 in rent over 4 months? Jeannie must be living high on the hog. I get that she's mad about having to fork out that kind of cash, especially when Jeezy was supposed to cover it. Jeannie's lawyers have been trying to get him to pay up, but he's gone silent since July. Now, she's pushing to enforce the settlement through the courts, and Jeezy might end up in some serious legal hot water if he doesn't pay up. People might think Jeannie's just bitter because he left her, and sure, she's hurt, but given the accusations she made and the way he left her high and dry, he should step up and pay what he owes, especially for their daughter. As for that crazy rent, Jeannie might want to find a more affordable place because $92,000 in less than 4 months is wild, but Jeezy agreed to this, and if he mistreated her during their marriage, he's got to cover his end of the deal. Before Jeannie Mae and Jeezy went their separate ways, their relationship was always in the spotlight. Here's a quick look at their journey together. Jeannie and Jeezy first crossed paths when he guest starred on The Real, the talk show where Jeannie was a co-host. They had their first date on November 28, 2018, which Jeannie described as a sweet sushi dinner in LA, followed by some salsa dancing. They kept things under wraps at first, but made their relationship official in August 2019, when they showed up together at the Snowball Gala, which was a fundraiser for Jeezy's nonprofit, Street Dreams. Jeezy popped the question in April 2020, right at home because COVID-19 messed up their plans for a fancier proposal in Vietnam. They officially tied the knot on March 27, 2021, with a low-key ceremony at their home in Atlanta. They had originally planned a bigger wedding in Lake Como, Italy, but it had to scale back because of the pandemic. Even though Jeannie had been against having kids before, she and Jeezy welcomed their daughter, Monaco, in January 2022. This was a big change for Jeannie and showed how much her views had evolved. The couple often shared their life with fans, from celebrating holidays to exploring their cultural backgrounds together, including a trip to Vietnam. Jeezy was also there for Jeannie when she had health issues, like her emergency surgery in November 2020. Their relationship was generally seen as a loving and supportive, and with Jeannie often highlighting how special it was compared to her previous marriage. However, despite all the good times, they ended up filing for divorce in September 2023, ending their 2.5-year marriage. Since then, it's been rough for these two. The drama is real. There's been a lot of talk about the reason why these two decided to call it quits. So according to some, like Joe Budden, the breakup wasn't just about infidelity like some thought. Someone close to the couple claimed that the real issue was family issues. They had different expectations and felt their needs weren't being met. People are like, seriously, you didn't talk about this stuff before tying the knot? But honestly, a lot of people don't dive into these deep conversations until it's too late. Think about it. Stuff like what religion your kids will be, or even basic things like how you handle discipline, are huge. These are conversations you should have before you get married or start a family, and if you don't, it's like setting yourself up for future drama. And yeah, Jeannie's Asian and Jeezy's Black, which means there's a whole cultural layer that probably added to their issues. People just don't understand how this was not a topic of their convo before they decided to become an item. One person wrote, "You're supposed to know about each other's family values long before the idea of marriage even pops up." A lot of folks don't have these talks early on, and it can come back to bite them later. I mean, even simple things like holiday traditions can be a big deal. For example, some families clash over things like Halloween or Christmas, which sounds trivial but can actually cause big rifts. Safe to say, if you don't discuss your family values and how you handle stuff like holidays, it can get messy. When it comes to kids in school, no one wants to be that parent who's out of sync with everyone else. Word on the street is that Jeannie's mom moved in with them and then her brother showed up too, and that's a lot to handle, especially when you're both famous and busy. I mean, imagine trying to keep the peace with your in-laws living with you. It's also been said that Jeannie's brother moved in, and that's where things started to get real complicated. I mean, when you're newly married, the last thing you want is your in-laws becoming a permanent fixture in your home. Now, Jeezy and Jeannie seemed like the perfect match on paper. Jeezy's a big name with hits and tours, while Jeannie's got her own thing going on. But let's be real, when you're in the spotlight and constantly on the move, things can get complicated. A few months back, Jeezy was out there promoting his new album, and Jeannie's at home with a new baby. That kind of lifestyle can create a lot of friction. And then there's Jeannie's past. She's been open about her previous marriage and how she's into both white and dark partners. It's clear she's got preferences, and maybe she thought Jeezy was a fun side piece while she aimed for a certain status with her ex. It's like having a vacation spot versus living the vacation life. You can handle it differently. It seems like their issues were more than just surface level disagreements. Jeezy might have felt like he was in a different place in his life, ready to share the world with someone who wouldn't challenge him or his career. But when the honeymoon phase wears off and really hits, like constant touring and promotion, it's a different story. But that is not all. There's more to this story than just different values and cheating. Yeah, things got a bit violent too, allegedly. The drama between Jeannie Mai and Jeezy really started heating up when Jeannie accused Jeezy of putting his hands on her not once, not twice, but 4 times. Yeah, you heard that right. She's alleging some DV. So the Shade Room got their hands on some court documents, and they showed that back in April 2022, there was an incident at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel where Jeezy supposedly held Jeannie by her throat and pushed her down the stairs. Hotel security even got involved after Jeannie said she felt unsafe. There were also reports of Jeezy calling her nasty names and saying she could do better. Then, just 3 weeks after Jeannie gave birth to their daughter Monaco, another fight allegedly happened in the car. Jeezy reportedly kicked the driver out, started going off on Jeannie, and when she tried to leave, he hit her in the face. They tried counseling with their pastor and therapist, and even Jeannie's close friend knows about these incidents. In December 2022, Jeezy supposedly got upset when Jeannie went to the restroom at an event and then started another fight in the car, even ripping her dress. Jeannie reported this too, and her therapist and best friend were in the loop. Jeezy did an exclusive with Jasmine Brand denying all of Jeannie's claims. He called them false and said this was an attempt to ruin his reputation. He claimed the photos of Jeannie's injuries were from a golf cart accident, not from him. There's a report from the Ritz-Carlton security guard who witnessed part of the incident, and it supports some of Jeannie's claims. Jeezy's really got his back against the wall here. He tried to get ahead of divorcing Jeannie first and hinting that she might have been unfaithful. I'll admit, at first I didn't give Jeannie the benefit of the doubt because she talked about her own anger issues, but no matter what, Jeezy's physical aggression crosses a line. Both of them had their issues, but Jeezy's actions cannot be excused. So there you have it, folks. The drama behind Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's breakup is more complex than it seemed at first glance. It's not just about family values. It's about navigating life in the spotlight, dealing with changing priorities, and reconciling personal dreams with reality. From the looks of it, their once shiny relationship hit some rough patches that couldn't be smoothed over. Remember, relationships can be a wild ride, and even the most glamorous couples aren't immune to the ups and downs. Whether it's family expectations or evolving life paths, things don't always go as planned. If you've got thoughts on this messy split or any other celebrity gossip, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more hot takes and juicy updates.